The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
An entire family hit by a car that flew off the runway at the Kerrville airport during a drag racing event.
The 6-year-old boy died. His father and father's girlfriend still in the hospital, and his 2 younger siblings, one an infant, have been released from hospitals.
That is according to a co-worker and close friend who tells our Courtney Friedman that feelings of devastation and support are coming from all over Texas.
Daniel was just full of life. We have company events and Daniel would just go up and say hi to everybody. And he was just the nicest person. Very grown up for his age.
Family friend Carrie Saavedra says 6-year-old Daniel Trujillo Jones was one of 2 children killed at the Kerrville airport Saturday when a car flew off the runway during a drag race event, crashing into him and his family.
One of our employees saw the car coming, told everybody to run, and they all kind of scattered to get out of the way.
Daniel's father, Chance Jones, works for Saavedra at his Performance Diesel shop in Austin. Saavedra immediately stepped in for support when he heard about Daniel and realized Chance and his girlfriend, Katie Walls, were hospitalized.
She's had a few surgeries already. She's kind of right on the edge of being critical from what they said. She's had some major leg and pelvic injuries.
He said Chance is still at an Austin hospital with a damaged knee and head trauma.
We want to make sure that they're financially able to mourn the loss of their amazing young boy.
One of the 2 GoFundMe accounts Saavedra set up has already raised $15,000 for Daniel's funeral and for the whole family's medical bills. Daniel's 2 younger siblings, a 4-year-old and a 3-month-old, were hospitalized in Kerrville and quickly released.
Police are still investigating that deadly crash here at the airport right behind me in Kerrville. In fact, about 20 minutes ago, we saw a huge truck on this very road that we're standing next to hauling big barriers, those orange and white ones that you saw at the event, presumably from this event. Today, police sent an update saying that Ford Mustang driver lost rear traction, and that's what caused him to crash into those barriers at the race and subsequently into the crowd. Live in Kerrville, Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Have to feel for those families affected. Thank you, Courtney. A 73-year-old man on trial for the murder of his wife says it was all in self-defense. Luis Benevento's trial got underway today, and while both sides said an argument took place between he and his wife, Alicia Willis, the stories differ in what led up to her being shot and killed. The defense says she attacked him, pointing a gun at him, and also ran over his collection of model airplanes. The state says there is evidence to show that Benevento is guilty of murder, and the first evidence they revealed, the 911 call that Willis made right before she was shot.
Here for 45. I'm only here for 45. What's his name? Luis Benevento. Get away from me. Get away from me. Please go to Kennedy. I know he's going to Kennedy.
Benevento expected to take the stand in his own defense at some point during this trial. If he is found guilty, he's facing 5 to 99 years or life in prison.
In 2020, domestic violence claimed the lives of 228 Texans. 17 of those victims lived here in Bexar County. That number serving as a grim reminder of how prevalent abuse is in our community. This Domestic Violence Awareness Month, city leaders want to honor victims and try to save lives. Alicia Barrera spoke to city leaders about the city and county programs for early intervention and to help victims safely leave an abusive relationship.
Bexar County is one of the highest rates of domestic violence in the country.
Domestic violence isn't just about physical abuse. It includes any behavior with a purpose to gain control over a partner. And city officials say it's silently and rapidly happening across all neighborhoods.
62,000 calls for violence. SAPD has received 22,754 more calls for domestic violence this year than at any time in 2019.
Well, if you feel unsafe in your relationship, even if no one has physically laid their hands on you, it's not okay. You deserve safety in your home.
Many times, victims decide to stay with their abuser due to lack of resources. And unfortunately, the stress of the pandemic has only made matters worse.
People are losing jobs. When they don't have that social support that they normally have, that increases violence.
The increase that we're seeing is certainly not for lack of trying to address this issue.
SAPD now works with the Metro Health Crisis Team and focuses on preventing violent incidents. COVID-19 relief funds have also allowed for the city to expand their efforts to create a safe, loving, and healthy future for both victims and witnesses of domestic violence.
We are focused on making sure that we are treating children who are indirectly victims of domestic violence and working with them to address traumas before they become expanded across a lifetime.
With COVID-19 vaccines for children between the ages of 5 to 11 expected to be approved in a matter of days, local school districts are making plans to vaccinate students. One of the largest school districts in our area, SAISD, San Antonio ISD, says they have identified some partners to help with those vaccinations and hope to get as many young kids vaccinated before the end of the year. Tiffany Huertas has more on their plans and why the district says it is important to vaccinate children in this age group.
I am in full support of vaccines for the kiddos.
Alana Calhoun says her daughter will be getting vaccinated once she is old enough.
I'm happy to see the city being progressive about giving vaccines to kids.
Education Service Center Region 20 says each school district is handling vaccinations independently. At San Antonio ISD,
our focus, of course, will be to try to get as many students in that 5 to 11-year-old group vaccinated as possible.
San Antonio ISD says they are teaming up with Stamp Allergy. The clinic has partnered with the district to offer vaccines in the past.
We probably will do most of them at pop-up sites. So, for instance, Alamo Convocation Center, which is somewhat centralized, but plenty of parking, easy to access, and it's close to the Stamp Clinic office.
Tony Thompson with the district says they hope to get kids vaccinated starting in early November.
These clinics that we're in the process of scheduling now will probably run from about 3 to 6 or 3 to 7. We'll offer transportation if that's needed. We'll also host some on Saturdays.
Thompson says young children count for the majority of the district's COVID positive cases, and it's important they get vaccinated.
We know that the vast majority of our students need to be attending school in person.
The district is planning to host meetings for parents to ask questions they may have regarding the vaccine. Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
While the number of people traveling has increased this year, the TSA says so has the number of guns found at airport checkpoints. According to the TSA, almost 4,500 guns have been found at airports across the U.S. so far this year. Earlier today, the San Antonio International Airport holding a demonstration on how to properly pack and travel with firearms. The TSA says most of the time people forget that they had a gun in their luggage, but there are ways to avoid that.
Empty out their carry-on bag before they come to the airport and before they start packing. Once they know what's exactly in their bag, they can start to pack and have a safe experience when they come to the airport.
If you are caught with a firearm at a TSA checkpoint, you can face a fine of up to $13,000 as well as possible arrest.
The San Antonio community losing a leader in the arts world. Miss Jo Long Williams, former executive director of the Carver Community Cultural Center, passed away peacefully on October 12th at the age of 71. Our John Paul Barajas brings us her story and her last request of a community she proudly served.
From 1976 to 2000, Miss Jo Long Williams brought countless artists and performances to the Carver Community Cultural Center, making it globally recognized as a leading cultural institution.
A lot of people have talked about her as being a visionary, and that's really an understatement. There's not a lot of words we can use to accurately capture the impact that Jo had on the cultural landscape of not just San Antonio, but really on a national and even to some extent a global level.
Williams' visionary multicultural programming and uncompromising commitment to equal access brought not just great artists to San Antonio, but artists that would have never come to our community prior to her programming. And there was no shortage of cultural representation. Many were artists of color.
She wanted to make sure that regardless of economic resources, whatever other barriers may exist, that the Carver was someplace where anybody could come and experience exemplary art and learn about different cultures from around the world.
Many credit her for laying the framework for so many other cultural arts institutions and for the success of artists as she supported them during the early stages of their careers. It's been over 20 years since she worked at the Carver, and her presence and impact is still felt.
Whenever I go to conferences or in other spaces outside of San Antonio, and I mention that I'm from the Carver, without fail, someone or multiple someones will come up to me and talk about how influential Joe was in either their career.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
A memorial service will be held at the theater named in her honor at the Carver Saturday, October 30th at 11 a.m.
Let's take a look outside with live cam this afternoon. What a sticky start to the week, especially this morning. But we got some good changes to talk about, Adam.
Yeah, Myra, this morning and over the weekend, so sticky and muggy out there. We had that very thick dew covering the grass, the streets, and even the cars. Another day of that, then some noticeable changes. 88 was our high temperature today. That's just a few degrees shy of the record of 91 set back in 2010. Temperatures will take a bit of a hit, though, when a cold front moves through later this week. 91 right now in Helotes, 88 Divine, 82 currently in Canyon Lake, 96 in Cotulla, 94 in Del Rio. Going through the evening, dropping through the 80s, then 70s, more fog. Big changes with the cold front with rain chances. More on that, and I'll time it out for you coming up.
KSAT 12 presents another Day of the Dead Stormy. Brought to you by Toyota.
If you've driven through the streets of San Antonio, you've undoubtedly come across the impressive artwork of Los Otros murals. The work of Sheck Vega and Nick Soup has been seen in various murals across South Texas and the country.
We take the elements of traditional styles and colors and elements, and we give them a new spin by doing it in a whole new genre of work with spray paint, new tools, and just give a more contemporary, modern feel.
This year, the pair's been tapped again to paint a calavera from start to finish during the Day of the Dead Riverwalk Parade.
I can't wait to see what the energy of the people of San Antonio bring.
Having painted together for such a bit and also being friends for such a long time, it's kind of like dancing. We definitely have two different perspectives that go onto it, but they seem to meld together.
The roots of this dynamic duo are based right here in San Antonio, and with every impressive mural, they reflect the culture of the city and are bringing vibrant colors and life to our Day of the Dead celebration.
To have one of the biggest celebrations in the nation, I think for the city of San Antonio is deserving. We're a large Hispanic culture here that celebrate traditions and art, so what better way than to combine both of those?
It's something where we could share this, and this is how we party. This is how we have a good time. This is how we remember people, how we share our experiences with our loved ones.
We have a debut tonight on the Night Beat that I am very excited about. My new co-anchor at 10 o'clock, Stefania Jimenez, will join us, and I am thrilled that this whole thing worked out, and we're going to be partners tonight, starting at 10.
And forever. Okay, but we're so excited because we're covering so many good stories for you tonight. First, we're going to start with this: transparency and accountability. Those are the very reasons that law enforcement says that it uses body cameras. However, several studies and investigations have uncovered several limitations. And tonight, the defenders are going to look at camera violations among San Antonio police officers, and they're also going to tell us how the officers were punished.
It's a very important story. And our Japhanie Gray with a survivor story. She spoke to this man, Dominic Iverson. He almost bled to death after a motorcycle crash, but because of the actions of one person, he survived. Tonight, he's sharing his story in hopes of finding the person who saved his life.
Definitely a feel-good story that you're definitely going to want to tune in for that.
Yeah, hopefully somebody can find him.
Yeah.
Myra, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Steph and Steve. Well, Texas voters will decide on a number of propositions this year, including Prop 2. Supporters say it's a way for Texas counties to fund vital transportation improvements. Our Samuel King joins us now. Samuel, of course, there are opponents here, and they're claiming this is just a tax increase by another name.
Myra, the key word here is revenue. Supporters say the potential projects funded under Prop 2 would lead to more development in those specific areas, thus more tax revenue without having to raise tax rates.
If you are concerned or tired or whatever about your property taxes rising, give counties another tool so that we can lessen that impact, because we're going to have to build roads.
Adam Haynes is policy director for the Texas Conference of Urban Counties. He says Prop 2 will provide funding for transportation improvements in undeveloped, underdeveloped, or blighted parts of counties, without raising property taxes for everyone. He points to the initial growth along Loop 1604 after it was built as an example of how it will work.
As 1604 lengthened and expanded, the property tax and the valuation out there went north and skyward. And so that's what you do. You do the TIF financing and then you reclaim the value to pay off those bonds.
The resolution that authorized Prop 2 enjoyed overwhelming bipartisan support in the Texas legislature. That doesn't mean there aren't opponents. Terry Hall is with Texans Uniting for Reform and Freedom. She says voters should do the same thing they did to the similar Prop 4 10 years ago and vote no.
When we already have a DEFCON 5 local debt problem in Texas, this is the last thing we want to do is to give government more tools to continue to issue debt, especially with property tax being such a huge problem in the state of Texas.
Meanwhile, Haynes points out that cities like San Antonio have long had the power to do this type of financing. He says as county governments are shouldering more of the burden of growth, it's only fair they have the same tools. Early voting continues ahead of Election Day, which is a week from tomorrow. Believe it or not, we're almost at November. As for traffic this evening, this incident on Loop 410 at Ingram has cleared. So that's good news there. We had some tie-ups there for the past hour or so. You're still looking at a westbound travel time of 12 minutes between I-10 and 151. Also have a couple of crashes reported in the medical center area, and coming up in the next half hour, an emergency closure in New Braunfels tonight. We'll tell you more about that coming up, guys.
All right, thanks, Samuel.
Sky 12 out and about. Some people actually enjoying Six Flags tonight. And I know they have some special Halloween stuff going on out there.
Fright
Haunted
Fest,
houses.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It would be nice to get this humidity out of here so we can enjoy being outside a little bit more.
Would you say the humidity's frightful?
Yes. It's just boo is what
Boo.
I said to that.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
There you go. I agree with that.
And, you know, the humidity, we're going to get a big break from it soon. We have a cold front that's going to hit us very early Wednesday morning. Another big impact from that cold front will be morning temperatures. They've been in the 60s to low 70s lately. Behind that front later this week, we're talking mornings in the 40s and low 50s. So big changes all around. Let's get right to it and talk about the overall weather pattern quiet across Texas. We've been watching the remnants of Hurricane Rick. Now a little tropical depression with a lot of moisture left over, but that moisture is not going to have a big impact on our rain and storm potential from our next cold front. We're watching this activity in the western U.S. That's where we have this big sharp dip or trough in the upper level flow. A lot of precipitation associated with it, some good rainfall for the western U.S., especially drought-stricken California. This has been good the past couple of days. That sharp trough is going to be headed our way and swing a cold front through here early Wednesday morning. So ahead of it tomorrow, we'll wake up to another round of fog to start the day. Low clouds through about 10, 11 a.m. Thick dew on the grass and on your car if you park outdoors. And then by the afternoon, some peaks of sunshine. A few hit or miss showers can't be ruled out. This is 5, 6 o'clock, and our Futurecast is indicating the chance of a few hit or miss light to moderate showers, but they're going to be few and far between. That's from the remnants of Rick. Then the cold front starts moving toward us Wednesday, 2 a.m. So we're talking overnight Tuesday into the pre-dawn hours on Wednesday. Some showers and storms dropping into the hill country, likely even clipping us here in San Antonio. Highest rain chances are hill country. Here in San Antonio, moderate, about 40%. And then by sunrise, it's all east of town. And the wind picks up quite a bit as well. The wind is going to be a big headline behind this cold front. So we have those storm chances tomorrow night into early Wednesday. And then the wind really picks up, gusts between 30 and 40 miles per hour Wednesday, Thursday, and possibly even into Friday. So outdoor Halloween decorations, be very aware of the gusty winds in case your decorations may be sensitive to that. Very humid. This is the stickiness we talked about. Sweaty and sticky outside. Dew points low to mid 70s around town. They're going to take a big hit, though. Humidity is going to be swept away for Wednesday all the way through Halloween this upcoming weekend. But still humid tomorrow morning and foggy, 71 in the morning. And then a few breaks in the clouds the rest of the day, 20% chance of showers, 86 the high temperature, and a bit breezy at times, but the real wind kicks up Wednesday and Thursday. Look at those temperatures. Highs closer to 80 for the end of the week and mornings upper 40s.
That's what we like to see. Not bad. Thanks, Adam.
All right, Greg, for yet another week, you cannot spell undefeateds without UTSA.
Yeah, it was just an amazing run, another first with the first win in Ruston. And now there's talk about Jeff Traylor and Texas Tech. We'll explain when we come back what UTSA, in the meantime, moving up in the national rankings in the big game, and our big game coverage this Friday night. Coming up. The UTSA Roadrunners are enjoying a well-deserved week off, starting their season 8-0 for the first time in school history, at the same time scoring their first ever win in Ruston with a 45-16 rout over Louisiana Tech. As a result, the Roadrunners are only one of 9 undefeated FBS teams in the nation and moved up to number 23 in the nation in the latest Associated Press college football poll. Former Judson standout Sincere McCormick rushed for 113 yards, 3 touchdowns, while on defense, Clarence Hicks produced 2.5 sacks. What is it like living the dream?
This is big. To come here right now, moving into the new conference, I mean, it's just, we got a lot of momentum right now.
I take everything as a little motivation. It's always good to fuel the fire. So, being that we never won here, we've been making history already, so you might as well add to it.
Might as well. As a result, the Roadrunners' success, their November 6th game in El Paso against UTEP has been slated for a national broadcast on ESPN2, and as a result, the kickoff time has been moved to 9:15 San Antonio time, and Traylor's name has already been mentioned for the Texas Tech head coaching vacancy. The Texas Longhorns went back to work today, coming out their bye week to get ready for number 16 Baylor in Waco this Saturday morning. The Horns are coming off back-to-back losses to Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, in which they had the lead in both games and still wound up losing. Now it's about mentally preparing the team to know they can finish games. Did head coach Steve Sarkisian see a level of frustration following their latest loss?
I think there was a real level of frustration. I would have been more concerned if there wasn't. I think that the frustration comes in from, I think they know they're capable of doing it, whether it's position specific, player specific, or scheme specific. And then when it doesn't happen later in the game, there is a level of frustration because I think they know they're capable of getting it done.
And you'll be able to see the Longhorns and Bears live on KSAT 12 this coming Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Fighting Texas Aggies are enjoying their bye week after they were able to put together 3 straight wins against previously number 1 ranked and undefeated Alabama, 41-38, Missouri 35-14, and then last Saturday, 44-14 rout of South Carolina that has left A&M ranked number 14 in the country and with a record of 6-2 overall, 3-2 in the conference, right behind Auburn, who they face on November the 6th. As a result of their win over the Gamecocks, Anaya Smith, Tyree Johnson, and Kenyon Green have all earned Southeast Conference honors. Smith is the SEC Special Teams Player of the Week for his 95-yard punt return to get the game off on the right foot. Johnson is sharing the SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week for his 2 sacks, and Green is the SEC's Offensive Lineman of the Week. The big game and our big game coverage features number 3 and undefeated Johnson Jaguars hosting number 8 Reagan Rattlers in a battle for district title in 28-6A and a big neighborhood rivalry. The Jaguars coming into this game undefeated at 8-0 overall, 6-0 in district behind one of the best running backs in the city, Ben McCreary, with over 1,100 yards rushing, 18 touchdowns. Their only scare this season was that close call over Madison in their last game, but held on for the 42-35 win. For the Reagan Rattlers, are also undefeated in district at 6-0 with their only 2 losses to the top 2 teams in the city to start the season. 35-14 loss to number 1 Brennan, 14-16 defeat to number 2 Steele, and like Johnson was able to hold off Madison 14-11.
I played a lot of ball with them growing up, a lot of those kids over there, and they're all good athletes, so we really have to work hard this week.
It's going to be the biggest game of the year. We've worked all season for a game like this. Really excited to just come out there and show them what we got.
Big time, this is some of the 2 juggernauts in this district, and it's going to come down to the last second. So we're just focused on doing what we're coached to do and performing off of that.
Apologize to the first young man who's not Steve Sarkisian, right? Kickoff between the Johnson Jaguars and Reagan Rattlers on Friday night is at 7 p.m. at Hero Stadium. KSAT 12 Sports will be there starting live at 5.
Jeff Traylor getting a lot of mention for that Tech job.
Sure is, along with the SMU head coach as well. We'll see what happens on that.
Yeah.
Proud of UTSA, though.
Yeah, they're doing great.
Right?
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Greg. We'll be right back. Today we are talking Bexar County business, especially 2 consultants hired to review 1 jail, the Bexar County Jail. Yeah. Today at our Q&A, we have Precinct 3 County Commissioner Trish DeBerry joining us. Commissioner, thanks for being here. It's been a while since we've had you on this segment. So I want to start with that consultant issue. We know county commissioners chose 1 consultant. Sheriff Javier Salazar has chosen a different consultant, but to review the same jail. So how is it, why is it that we've got 2 companies doing that job?
So first of all, I think it's extremely inefficient that we have 2 consultants, especially since in July, when the sheriff came to us with yet another overtime request, we asked him point blank, the judge and I asked him, listen, we are willing to get you help. Will you work with the consultant that we hire? And his answer was, yes, I will work with that consultant. Because I really felt like, and I said at the court meeting in July, we consider this a lifeline, not only to you, but to taxpayers regarding the amount of money they're spending in overtime. And not just that, Myra and Steve, I mean, really it's about humanity and the conditions at the jail. I think what gets lost in the conversation is that we're looking at saving taxpayer money and trying to get this under control. But it's really about, like I said, humane conditions within the jail regarding the detention guards. I get letters, I get direct messages from the rank and file on a weekly basis relative to zero quality of life. Morale is at an all-time low within the jail. They currently have 315 vacancies within that jail. So you have folks that are working mandatory overtime and not being able to spend time with their families or their kids. And, you know, at the end of the day, I was elected because I've got private sector experience. And so I'm constantly going to be looking for solutions. And that's not just, like I said, regarding taxpayer savings, but it's really about culture and morale and what you establish there. So my hope is that a consultant will bring that to bear.
You've been critical of the sheriff in the past. This time, though, I mean, is there any value in having 2 studies? I mean, is there anything that's going to come out of a study that the sheriff's department pays for that you're going to take to heart? I mean, it just seems very odd that we're talking about 2 different studies from 2 very different sides of the issue here for one jail.
Well, it's very disappointing to me, Steve, because like I said, in July, we asked the sheriff, we hired a consultant, would you work with that consultant? And he said, yeah. So we began a due diligence and a process, and a very robust process. You know, we had a list, we worked with staff regarding consultants for the jail. There was a short list of like 3 firms. I interviewed those firms, talked to references, looked at case studies, you know, and we had landed on a consultant out of Florida who had really been a change agent at the Broward County Jail that was a mess at the time. Certainly, although from Florida, is very familiar with Texas jail standards, but I think that's what we're looking for was a change agent. So let me be clear about the fact we were on a path, we had a process. And the whole goal was that we hired a consultant that was completely independent from the sheriff. And so for him to kind of knee-jerk reaction, hire a consultant of his own that's been handpicked, I don't think is fair to the court, nor do I think is fair to the taxpayer, because at the end of the day, we stress independence. We wanted somebody to come in and take a close look, provide solutions. And the fact that the sheriff has handpicked his own consultant means really, I mean, is that the fox guarding the hen house? Is the sheriff really going to hear what he needs to hear or only what he wants to hear?
So do we know at this point when these 2 reviews are going to be happening and who is going first, essentially?
Well, I think we're on the parallel tracks. My hope is that shortly after the first of the year, we will have a result really the consultant that we had hired from the court standpoint to come in, take a look at the jail, offer his suggestions. And to the sheriff's credit, he has said he will let that consultant come into the jail. So look, my hope is, regardless of which consultant it is, that perhaps we merge the 2 together and we're able to come up with some very effective solutions, because there are very inhumane conditions at the jail right now. Like I said, with 315 vacancies and not being able to recruit and fill those positions as quickly as is need be. Taxpayers paid a high of $14 million this last fiscal year. And when we look at something called FLSA, which is the Fair Labor Standards Act, which means if there is a detention guard that works or a law enforcement officer that works more than 480 hours, we have to pay out regarding that too. And we are at an all-time high of probably $3 million associated with that. So you look at jail overtime at $14 million, you look at FLSA at $3 million, that's $17 million that taxpayers are having to foot. It's unacceptable.
You know, the issue of overtime within the sheriff's office, within the jail, that has been an issue for years, even prior to the current sheriff serving as head of that department. So do you have any strategies that you would like to see implemented in terms of trying to decrease the amount of money that taxpayers are paying for that overtime?
So completely agree. It's been a vexing problem for a very long time, but it has never, ever been at the rate that we have seen currently, probably over the trajectory in the past 5 years. So, I'm not a jail consultant, obviously, which is why I wanted to bring in an expert, but having private sector experience, that's why you bring in somebody that has outside experience. Let me reiterate, I've been asking for data and metrics since I got onto this court 10 months ago. I received zero information because I think the only way that we can make an informed decision and come up with a strategy, a real strategy regarding the jail. And let me be clear too, the jail is a beast. It's a vexing problem, but unless we have real data and metrics regarding manpower allocation, regarding recruitment, regarding the opportunity for somebody who works in detention, who probably by and large really wants to get out on the street, and law enforcement and what that looks like, we're going to be destined to fail. So, my heart really at the end of the day is with the rank and file, because there is a crisis, not only in culture and morale, but in efficiency in the jail. And the sheriff has been in office 5 years, and he came into office saying that he was going to tackle this problem and he was going to figure it out. But the fact that there's little to zero communication with the court regarding these issues is problematic. And hence the reason why we are in the situation we are in today regarding the consultant that we are hiring and the consultant that he is hiring.
Trish, we're running out of time, but before I let you go, I want to ask you a question. You're sounding very much like a candidate tonight. Is there any chance that you are looking at running for the judge of the Commissioner's Court? And do you think a Republican can win that position?
That's a very interesting question, Steve. Obviously, I am the sole Republican on the court, which is why I ask very difficult questions, which sometimes ruffles a few feathers, but it's all about accountability. I would ask the same questions in my own business. If I was paying overtime consistently, I would say, what is happening here? How do we get a handle on the situation? So back to your question regarding running for judge, look, the folks in Precinct 3 elected me to do a job in Precinct 3. And, I think, I've been an advocate, obviously, for the taxpayer and a taxpayer champion for 10 months on the job. But I will tell you that I'm dedicated to serving the constituents of Precinct 3 at this point. And so if I was interested in running for county judge, I probably would have said so by now. That's not to say that, at some point in the future that doesn't exist, but the constituents of Precinct 3 elected me to an office. And quite honestly, Steve, if I've got to give up my seat to be able to run, that makes it very problematic for me.
Yeah, and I like how your dogs have kind of yes, broken in there to end this conversation. They don't want you to run, clearly.
Well, they want me to run them. Yes.
There you go.
Yes, there
That's
you
the
go.
running they're interested
or at least
in.
a nice walk. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, Trish DeBerry, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Stephen, I told you about a crash in this area this morning during GMSA I-35 at Walnut in New Braunfels. And tonight, there's going to be some emergency road work there. So 35 at Walnut will be closed. Use exit 187. That starts in a little more than an hour. Resuming this week, alternating lane closures on 1604 on the west side between I-10 and Bandera Road. That's part of that project. Still some delays right now, 13 minutes westbound. And also have a crash near this spot here, 281 at Loop 410. So watch out for that this evening, guys.
Thank you, Samuel. Look outside right now with live cam. The shot that makes Adam want Whataburger every single time we take.
Yeah, I know.
Close to my dinner time.
Doesn't take much.
Yeah.
What can I say? And I'm glad we actually had a decent shot there all day today. These wasps have been coming and landing on that camera. I swear I'm going to invent a camera that has wasp spray that automatically just sprays it out periodically.
I can see that.
I know, right? It'd be fun to tinker with.
You seem annoyed, like it's bugging you.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to fly away with this forecast right now. 83 degrees currently. 82 at 8 o'clock, and by midnight we'll be in the mid-70s. Warm, humid, more fog tomorrow morning. One more day of this, then everything changes with the cold front. I'll see you in a bit to talk about it.
Got everybody buzzing.
All right, a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Halloween, we've got the Day of the Dead parade on Friday. A lot of people looking towards the end of this week, Adam.
Yeah, and the weather's going to be agreeable for all that, and even more fall-like and more seasonable, especially some cooler mornings and nights are on the way. Let's talk about our headlines here. The cold front hits very early Wednesday morning, and that's when the changes start to take place. The wind's going to pick up right away. Humidity is going to be swept away. We will have some storms associated with the front tomorrow night, and then the gusty winds, lower temperatures, and lower humidity will be the big story for the middle and end of the week. And even into the weekend, it's going to be a little more pleasant in terms of how it feels outside. So let's get right to our satellite and radar, talk about the weather pattern. And it's quiet across Texas. You go to the south, we're watching the remnants of Hurricane Rick, now tropical depression, just a slew of moisture associated with it headed toward us. But that's not going to play a big role in our rainfall potential or even rain chances, really, over the next couple of days. We're watching all this activity, this big dip in the upper level flow stretching from Vancouver all the way down to Los Angeles. This has been providing the western U.S. and especially California with a lot of good soaking rainfall. They need this rain, and they've been getting it. It's good to see them getting some much needed moisture. But that sharp trough, that's going to be hitting us and clipping us tomorrow night into early Wednesday. Behind it, big changes because it's got a cold front associated with it. So let's go through our futurecast. Tomorrow morning, more of the same. Thick dew on the ground, some fog as well, low clouds lingering through the morning, and then by the afternoon we'll see breaks in the clouds and some sunshine. Also the off chance of a few hit or miss little showers, light to moderate showers, the remnants of what was Hurricane Rick could give us a few little showers midday tomorrow and on into the afternoon, especially east of I-35. Then we get into tomorrow night. We're talking Wednesday, 2 a.m. Showers and storms developing along the cold front, dropping into the hill country, a little closer to sunrise, making it to I-35 and San Antonio, and then quickly moving off to the east after sunrise. I mean, even by 8 o'clock, closer to Houston. The wind picks up right away behind it on Wednesday. We're expecting some wind gusts. Look at this. Wednesday, between 30 and 40 miles per hour. So the wind is going to be the headline Wednesday, Thursday, and even a little bit during the day on Friday, but then tapering off for the weekend and even Halloween. So Halloween decorations that are sensitive to wind, will be prepared for it. Anchor them down for Friday or Wednesday all the way through Friday. Right now, 90s farther to the west, Cotulla 96, Del Rio 94, and of course we've got that thick humidity. Dew points, lower 70s locally. That humidity's gone. Come that cold front Wednesday, it's gone and it's going to stay away. You're not going to notice the humidity again until maybe after Halloween. So Halloween's going to be fairly pleasant and comfortable with the lack of mugginess. But tomorrow, one last day of the muggy, humid conditions, 71 in the morning, 86 by the afternoon, just a 20% chance of showers, increasing storm chances tomorrow night, and then highs near 80 and lows in the upper 40s for the end of the work week and into the weekend.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
In case you missed it, coming up next. Here's today's In Case You Missed It.
Let's roll. It's Monday morning, October 25th.
A traffic tie-up this morning after a woman was hit by a car on I-10 near Days of Olive Road around 4 a.m.
Investigators are still trying to gather information. The woman died at the scene and had no possessions or an ID. The driver that hit her fled.
Still working to learn the name of a second person killed in a rollover crash last night. The first victim identified as 24-year-old Christopher Matthew Taylor. San Antonio police say Taylor was a passenger in a Volkswagen SUV that was speeding on Grissom Road near Timber Path before it crashed into a Toyota pickup truck exiting a Whataburger parking lot. The driver of the SUV died at the scene. His name has not been released.
The search continues for a driver who hit a bicyclist early this morning and did not stop to help. The crash happened just before 7 a.m. at the intersection of South Zarzamora and Fran Streets. That's on the west side. One man who was on his way to work says he saw what happened, and it appeared to be a dump truck or a gravel truck run over the victim and drag him. According to police, the victim pulled out of his shoes, dragged about 30 feet. He was taken to the hospital. Investigators are now turning to neighborhood surveillance cameras to try and figure out who that suspect is.
Today, Moderna saying its vaccine for children 6 to 11 shows a strong immune response and appears safe. The company planning to submit its data to the FDA soon. A Kaiser Family Foundation poll shows a third of American parents will vaccinate their children right away, but nearly a quarter say they will definitely not.
Welcome back, everybody. Just a quick reminder about this emergency closure in I-35 at Walnut and New Braunfels. They're doing some emergency repair work there. That begins in just about an hour. Down in San Antonio, watching this crash near the airport on Loop 410 near 281. This is how the traffic kind of looks there. On TransGuide, you kind of see the traffic moving there, Adam. Slow going there if you're heading to the airport this evening.
All right, and Sam, our storm chances, they really peak Tuesday night into early Wednesday. We got it at 40% right now, likely to quickly get clipped, maybe even a localized severe storm. Then tomorrow's our last real muggy day. The humidity's gone Wednesday through the weekend. Nothing but sunshine Wednesday through the weekend, and temperatures a bit lower, especially morning readings. We're talking mornings upper 40s, lower 50s, Thursday through Sunday.
Thanks, Adam. And thanks for watching the news at 6.
See you back here on the Night Beat at 10.